Hey guys, I just want to say first and foremost, thank you so much for everyone who's been helping me raise a little bit of extra money so I can get down to Los Angeles for the Star Wars Rise of Skywalker press screening on Tuesday. I am getting very close to my goal. I still have about $200 more to make. I just wanted to give you guys a quick update and say thank you so much to everyone who's been really generous and helping me out. It's a couple days away. I'm super excited. So if you do want to help get me over the edge, get me over that point, and get some good coverage from on the ground, link is in the video description. Thank you guys again. Have yourself a great day, and may the force be with you. When we talk about David, was it DB Weiss and David Benioff, the guys behind Game of Thrones? They've had a tumultuous year. I don't think there's any other way to describe it. They've had a major, massive, tumultuous year. They wrapped up season 8 of Game of Thrones to a staggering defeat in regards to fan response. I'm one of the few that quite enjoyed it, actually, but they're one of the ones that did that. Then they, of course, they did win at the Golden Globes, or they won at the Emmys, but they didn't get nominated at the Golden Globes aside of Kit Harington. So the fan love of that's kind of dropped off in recent months. And I think that that's one of the things that's going to be kind of hurting them right now going forward, especially after walking away from Star Wars, something I still can't quite fully put my head around, I mean, is just everything that bad at Star Wars that they felt it was easier just to walk away from doing that job, those years of employment, to take that $250 million Netflix deal. And that is something, right? The $250 million Netflix deal to create and produce content for 5 years is nowhere near the $500 million that J.J. Abrams got from Warner Brothers to do the exact same thing. But here's the crazy thing. Here's the crazy thing about this. These guys, they're not going to be doing their first project for Netflix. They left Star Wars to go to Netflix. And you know what their first project here is? It's going to be a Lovecraft story. That's right. H.P. Lovecraft. Yeah. Yeah. I mean, don't get me wrong. We need more Cthulhu in this world. I 100% agree on that one, right? Give me the Elder Gods, goddammit. But I mean, they're going to be doing this Lovecraft story here. So let's find out what the article says. All right, so here's an unexpected development. According to Deadline, David Benioff and D.B. Weiss, having just stepped down from the proposed Star Wars film, just mere months after they're completing their run on HBO's Game of Thrones, will next tackle an adaptation of Hans Rodionoff and Enrique Brescia's graphic novel Lovecraft. Karen Kusuma, director of The Recent Destroyer, will executive produce the film. Now, Karen Kusuma also did Aeon Flux, so there's that. But she did Girl Fight, which is really good. But Aeon Flux was just bad. Anyway, so the script to be written by Phil Hay and Matt Manfredi. So not Dan and Dave, although I would argue that at this point their fingerprints are going to be all over it. Will apparently answer the question: what if Lovecraft wasn't making up all the stuff about the elder gods and unknowable creatures who go bump in the night? Deadline also says the film will be a period piece set in the 1920s, and it will be directly connected to Lovecraft's Cthulhu mythos. Now, I have theories about this. My theory ultimately boils down to the fact that as Universal's MonsterVerse kind of wraps itself up, I don't know if Godzilla v. Kong is going to do any better than Godzilla King of the Monsters, which is absolute shame because that movie is in the top of the year. It's pure sex, in my opinion. But giving a Cthulhu Lovecraftian cinematic universe sort of thing, right? I mean, building that up, building it around the Elder Gods, that has a potential of being absolutely insane. Well, they say here, well, this is either exciting or very alarming, depending on how mad you remain about the way Game of Thrones ended. For my money, this being the author, there can never be enough Lovecraft adaptations out there, particularly Lovecraft adaptations with a budget. Lovecraft lore, but what I mean. Lovecraft content is Lovecraft content, so I'm all for it. I'm particularly excited about the involvement of Kusama, Hay, and Manfredi. Absolutely badass who spent the last decade making some of the most affecting, chilling thrillers in the game. There's nothing more to report at the time, but this certainly is a curveball for Camp Benioff and Weiss, and we're very curious to see the outcome. Stay tuned for more information on that one. And what I saw from another article, and I don't know how true it is, but what I saw from another article is that apparently these guys are going to be directing it. Now, if they're going to be directing it, I don't understand why they wouldn't come in and write it themselves, which tells me that the guys who are writing the script, they're just writing the script right now. They're just doing the bare bones version of the script, and then Dan and Dave are going to come in and then they're going to further adapt the graphic novel, because that's kind of what they're good at right now, is adapting other people's work. They're going to be adapting it, and then they're going to be modifying it enough to where it's they're going to get a writer's credit before it comes out. But this is cool because, like I said, we could use some more Lovecraft. I'm always cool with Lovecraft. If I don't know where to find it now, but a long time ago, like way back, oh, well over a decade, I remember one night somehow getting my hands on it was like a 30 or 40 minute long, maybe an hour long Lovecraft film. It was all about the Call of Cthulhu. It was a silent movie, all done black and white, all done by a Lovecraft society, and they shot it all themselves, and it was cool. They had great effects, very in camera effects, very on set effects, very practical. They had built some really cool looking sets in order to like travel to the island and go on the sea for Cthulhu. And it was all black and white and it was all done silent movie and it was awesome. And I've always loved that. And I don't know where to find it now. It's not on YouTube. I looked a while ago. But I think when we look at Lovecraft, there's a lot of love for it. And this is, I'll tell you guys this is a true story. Back about 7-8 years ago, probably about 7.5 years ago, I wanted to try my hands at writing a fan fiction. And this is true. This is so bad. It's so bad, but it's true. And I thought maybe I could do something that would get viral on Tumblr because that was big at the time, back when it was valued at $1 billion. So I started thinking like what was popular at the time? Slender Man. Also the Marble Hornets web series, which if you haven't seen that, oh my, that'll creep you the hell out. And I'm like, what other stuff is popular? And I'm like, oh, Cthulhu was popular. So is there a way for me to connect the operator from Marble Hornets? So that universe, I was again writing a fan fiction. Can I connect that to Slender Man and then have that connect to Cthulhu? And I actually did. I did actually figure out a way to do it. I figured out a way to tie the two universes together. But here's the worst part about it. The worst part about it, and feel free to groan and let me know if you groan, the name of the story, because I'm a terrible writer at times. It was called Slender's Game, right? It was terrible. I think I got through, like, I outlined it and then I got through like the first like couple chapters or the first chapter or whatever. And then I just kind of let it die, mostly because I realized that it was pretty bad. I still enjoyed the concept because I was able to tie the universes together because I like Cthulhu and I like to see more with Cthulhu in it. But yeah, I did that back in the day. So when I look at a story like this and it's Dan and Dave being attached to it, I think, look, they can adapt people's work pretty well. They're talented. There's no mistaking that. They just need to have an ending in sight. And this could be something that they could work on that could do pretty well. And so that's what I'm excited for right now. But we'll have to wait and see. We'll have to wait and see what happens with that as we get going forward. And from there, yeah, it's gonna be a fair amount of fun. But anyway, as always, leave your thoughts below.